How's it going, everybody? How the hell are ya? Welcome back to the Nerdy Jock. I'm the Nerdy Jock, Nick Angle. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. I appreciate it. Guys, this is the NHL playoff wrap-up of round one. We're going to look at the teams. We're going to see where they go from here, and we'll discuss. All right, so really quick, I need to get it out of the way. I do need to talk about that Mark Scheifele, Jake Evans hit last night in the NHL. I watched it. I got mad at it. And then I did a stupid thing. I went to Twitter and wow. Just wow. Okay, let's get this straight. People on Twitter are saying, yeah, it's charging, but right there, when you say yes, it's charging, you can't say anything else after that because you're agreeing that the hit should not have happened. Now let's go through it. Jake Evans is going for a puck on an empty net, and he's trying to seal the deal on a one-goal game. Right now it's a one-goal game. It's 4-3. He's trying to seal the deal. He's trying to put that puck in the net, make it a two-goal game, and basically seal the win for the Habs in game one. A big win, because, you know, it's game one. You got to get that win. Mark Scheifele has been frustrated all night by the line of Jake Evans, Brendan Gallagher, and Philip Deneau. He took a penalty. He's been frustrated all night. I get it. Been there. Done that. He comes basically 190 feet, full bore, until he hits, okay, I'll give you even this. He comes 185 feet until he hits about basically hash marks. And then he stops skating. Okay, he has a decision to make. He can make a play on the puck and try and stop the goal from being scored, or he can do what he did, and he can literally level Jake Evans. Now, people are like, well, he slowed down. No, he didn't. Okay? He is gliding at the speed of which he's come up to the hash marks. He's now gliding, what? 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet? How much do you actually think he's slowed down? Like, if you do the math, okay? And also, let me just say this. For the people out there that have said that he should have gotten his head up, for the Sean Averys out there that say, well, it's the playoffs, you need to get your head up. You one-legged, diuretic, epileptic flamingo. You have no... Okay. The fact that you don't really know the rules because you stood in front of a goalie and you waved your stick like you were in band practice. No, I get that you don't understand the rules. I get that. And then Mike Commodore, you fish turd pond scum, to sit there and write out all the things that apparently Jake Evans did wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. For those who said he didn't look up, watch he takes a peek, actually, before he gets to behind the net. He looks to see if there's anybody coming. He's so far ahead of them, he doesn't see them because Mark Scheifele, who's flying full speed, hasn't hit the blue line yet. And then as he slows down and turns the corner and it starts to come north, Scheifele has closed that distance. So he didn't see him, so he didn't think there was anybody there, and he thinks he's alone with one thing on his mind, to score a goal. So the fact that any of you are sitting there going, this is playoff hockey, the rules don't change. Whether the referees call it differently or not is inconsequential. The rules don't change. The book is the same in the regular season as it is in the playoffs. For the guys on Spitting Chicklets, you sat there and you literally, I don't even know what his name is, that goddamn Boston accent. Well, it's charging, but the fact that you agreed that it was charging says enough. You don't listen to the words coming out of your mouth because you're from Boston, which is the first problem. And I think we can all agree that Boston fans are legit the worst. Okay, I'm getting angry now. Here's the point. It's charging. He got 4-game suspension, which means the NHL player safety agrees that it was an egregious hit. So you sitting there going, well, now the game has gotten softer, this, that, and the other thing. Buddy, then go watch another sport. Okay? Because this one ain't for you. Because you're too stupid to get it. I've refereed kids. I've refereed hockey games. There is no way that hit is a good hit. Period. Mark Scheifele is not a dirty player. I will say that first and foremost. But he made a terrible decision. In fact, there's a picture, and I'll put it up right now. He had a chance to make a play on the puck. He legit had a chance to stop that goal from going in. And instead, he decided he was going to take a pound of flesh because he was frustrated. That's his decision. That's his choice. And now he's got to pay for it. But the fact that any of you have said it was a charging but, no. There is no but. You stop there. And that's it. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk Habs and Leafs. I live in the city of Toronto, and there has been a lot of talk about the Leafs and where do they go moving forward and what do they do. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea, and I think a lot of people have zero idea. There was talk the other day of needing a killer instinct, of they believe in this core of players. They've got to build around it, and that's true. They do have to build around it because you've got, almost $40 million tied up in 4 players. So I think you look at it like this. How you built this team, I think at this point it's like ride or die. But I would like to see if, things are on the table. I don't think they are. I think, like I said, I think they're going to ride with this team. But again, and I said it in the video before, you got to give a lot of respect to Philip Deneau and that line and what they did against Matthews and Marner. Also, though, we have to look at the year. This has been a year like no other. Whether you agree with that or not, it's a year like no other. Maybe you're not going to get an accurate reflection on your team as a whole. And maybe you just run it back again and you try and build around and you run at that wall one more time and you hope at least this, I know it's been 7 years. You're hoping that this is sort of the straw that breaks the camel's back and they get it. They understand it because there is too much talent on that team for this team to not make some sort of run. What they do against the rest of the teams in the East next year, it's up in the air. You don't know. You got to see. All right, looking at the Pittsburgh Penguins, the Islanders, the Penguins series, and the Islanders obviously pulling that one out. As the Penguins, what do? You got Sidney Crosby, you got Evgeny Malkin. I mean, all you got to really do is hope that your goalie gets better. I mean, it's not like he was bad all year. It's not like he played terribly. He was pretty good, and but in the playoffs, just terrible. So you're hoping, I think, more than anything, that it's a learning curve. I know they've got some things they've got to deal with in terms of contracts and whatnot, but I mean, you have Sidney Crosby, you got Evgeny Malkin, you run with it. Every year, like Brian Burke said, now. We'll see what Brian Burke, again, it's a new group in there, so we'll see. We'll see what Hextall has in mind. Maybe he adds, some grit, something. We'll see. But I think they'll be back. How can you not? All right, Washington, the Washington Capitals. What do you do there? Well, I'm guessing Chara's gone. Look, Washington has been an enigma in this league for the better part of a decade. I have no idea. I honestly think they got lucky and they finally won a Stanley Cup, and they have absolutely zero idea how to replicate that. I said it, way back when the whole Crosby and Ovechkin debate was going on. Who would you rather have? All day I'm taking Crosby because Crosby makes people better. Crosby is just, I'm not going to say he's a better hockey player. He is a better leader. He is a better overall. He's better at getting guys over the hump. He's better at dragging people with him. And he plays both ends of the ice. He plays that 200-foot game, and he's a centerman. I just don't think Ovechkin has that. And I don't think he'll ever have that. And I mean, look, we're on the latter half of his career. We're not at the beginning. I just think Washington is really, they're saddled with Ovechkin at this point, and yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, they're going to be there. Maybe they're just a regular season team, which you're hoping, if you're a Leafs fan, that's not what the Leafs turn into. All right, the Florida Panthers. Man, great season, great players, need a goaltender. I'm going to propose this. You have a $10 million guy in Bobrovsky who can't stop the puck when he needs to. Is it maybe time to buy him out? Has he given up? Is he the same goalie? Is he done? Or is the loss of Ekblad that much more because maybe your defense suffered? I don't know, but honestly, I think if they had gotten some saves, they'd be in a better spot right now than going, out golfing, which they can do in Florida all the time anyway, but they'd still be in the playoffs, I think. Moving over to the Nashville Predators. What do you do there? Ah, man. I think you got to start to look at maybe some rebuild mode. I think the Nashville Predators are good, but there's some holes there, and they need to fix those. They put up a heck of a fight against Carolina, but I think Carolina at the end of the day was the better team. But Nashville's going to be there. They're always going to be around, but I think it's time you start to retool. I think it's a retool factor. Obviously, with goaltending, I think you're set there with Saros, but I think there's going to be some learning. You got to, guys are just going to have to learn. That's all. All right, St. Louis. What do you do with St. Louis? Well, what do you do when you get run over by a freight train? Look, you ran into the Avalanche. There's nothing else you can do. The Avalanche are absolutely rolling right now. And if you're St. Louis, I mean, you're coming off that cup win. Your team, I think, has been dismantled a little bit at this point. Yeah, you're in rebuild mode. You have to, and that's the unfortunate era of the cap, where, especially if it's a flat cap, so it's not going anywhere. You're not getting any more money. The cap situation has maintained that you are just not going to be able to maintain a dynasty for any sort of length of time. It's just, that's the way it's built, and it's unfortunate, and I wish that they could do things to the cap that would change those things. I know it's an idea that I really like, where maybe one or two players are cap exempt, so you can pay them as much as you want to. It doesn't count towards your cap. I think that's a great system. I think it would really work well. And it just, yes, you want parity in the league, but also you want to see teams win. You want to see maybe dynasties being developed. It's fun that way. It's also fun to hate those teams as well as a fan. I just want to see it get done. Minnesota Wild against the Golden Knights. What else can you say about the Minnesota Wild? Absolutely great series. I think they played fantastic. I think they got a great future ahead of them. They should have the Rookie of the Year, but I don't think he qualifies because of age or what. It's so stupid. Change the rule. But I think they're going in the right direction. I think they're going to be back next year. Again, another year of experience for them. I think it's going to be great. Really looking forward to it, and can't wait to see them again next year. Now, I saved this one for last, the Edmonton Oilers. Now, I said this to some people probably about midway through the season when Connor McDavid was doing his thing. And I said at that point, yes, he plays on another level. He plays in another plane of existence from anybody else in the league. That is not in question here, okay? The one thing I will say is that what he needs to learn is how to make people around him better. Because right now, I mean, obviously secondary scoring for them is non-existent. But like I said about Crosby, great leader, knows how to make people better. He made Pascal Dupuis a multimillionaire. He got Pascal Dupuis paid because he elevated his game. And obviously Pascal he's not a slouch by any stretch, but he's not a first liner. Chris Kunitz, Crosby's so good, he got Chris Kunitz on the Canadian Olympic team. Yeah, I said it. The Canadian Olympic team, okay? One of the best teams put together. Chris Kunitz was on that team. Why? Because he played well with Crosby, and Crosby elevated his standing in the eyes of everybody. Ridiculous. Connor McDavid needs to learn how to do that. Connor McDavid needs to drag this team with him. And that is not an easy thing to figure out. It's very difficult to do in the NHL. He's a young guy, still, going through this. Yes, he needs to play better, but that's a skill he's got to really learn. Whether he does or not, I don't know. But that, man, to get swept like that, I get it. It was overtime games. It's a coin flip, all of that stuff. But they're going to be back there, well, maybe next year. And again, everything's going to change, though. All of these teams are all going back to their regular ways. And we're going to see how everything mixes together. We're going to see how they all play against each other. I mean, Toronto's going to have a hell of a time. Boston's not going anywhere. Tampa Bay's not going anywhere. Colorado, Florida, they're not going anywhere. Pittsburgh, the Islanders, these teams are going to be there. Montreal right now, let's worry about them later. But the teams that are out right now, yeah, they got some looking into do. And, some of them I think are going to be fine. They're growing. Some of them may need retooling. Some of them, you just hope it's a learning experience and they grow. But we'll see. We'll see it all next year. All right, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Nerdy Jock. Hit that like button if you like this video. Smack that subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell your mom. It's awesome, and I really am trying to grow the channel, and it would be fantastic. And thank you so much for checking us out. That's it. That's my playoff post-mortem, if you will, for round one. We'll do another one in round two. But until then, guys, always remember, it's always game time, baby. Let's go!